How lazy are you? Do you like earning your kills with skills, or do you want the game to play for you? Imagine your enemies moving down a set path while taking hits from your defenses and not fighting back at all. This next set of reviews is all about these maps. They're called Tower Defense Maps, or TDs for short. The first one we'll take a look at is called Blue TD. As implied by its title, the terrain looks bluish, I guess. You can get several different towers such as poison towers, hero towers, siege towers, anti-air towers, and traps to damage enemies as they walk past. The trick to this map is building a siege tower and an anti-air tower first, upgrading both fully, and repeat, adding in cold traps and poison towers, and that's it. You win, but you will leak on level 35. It's impossible to not leak because the monsters are too strong. Other than that, it's a very generic TD. There's really nothing special about it. You can play this map with 8 other players. Once you beat the map, there's really no reason to play this again. You will find literally hundreds of maps like this, but once they appear on the custom games list, they tend to quickly fade away. Here we have Line Tower Wars. The map supports 11 players. This has a bit more competition in it by allowing you to send monsters to other players. When a player leaks, not only does the player lose a life, but the owner of that monster will gain a life. You can choose various technologies to allow you to build advanced towers that have special abilities that can stun or slow down monsters. One notable strategy is to summon air units simply because they can bypass a player's maze of towers without taking too much damage, making it extremely difficult to defend against. There's not really much I can say about this map that's good. I won't say much about its problems with balance because there's a bigger problem than that. The triggers, they're horrible. Without going into too much detail, they're inefficient and riddled with bugs. There are several different versions of Line Tower Wars floating around, including a speed variant that provides faster income. In some versions, they give Light Blue an unfair advantage with extra income and starting gold. All of these modified versions either give a player an unfair advantage, or they're half-hearted attempts at balance without even trying to fix the triggers. The map does have some addictive qualities to it, but the problems it has will eventually drive you away. Next, we have Gem TD. This map differs from other TDs because of the towers. What you do is build 5 gems, and you pick one to keep. This is your tower. The remaining 4 gems turn into amazing rocks, which only serve to block enemies and doesn't attack, but you do have the option of removing them. The theme of this map is gems, valuable crystals and minerals, with each basic gem having a varying level of quality. Higher quality gems are more powerful. You can combine these gems to create more powerful towers with special abilities. For example, I can combine Chip Sapphire, Chip Topaz, and Chip Diamond to create Silver, which has an attack that slows enemies down. The map itself is very polished. The tooltips are easy to read and understand, and all the gems are color-coded, so you can just scan across the screen and pick out what you want to select. My biggest complaint about this map is its slow pace. In between rounds is when you're doing everything, and there's so many different kinds of gems you can combine into that you're constantly checking what gems you need, which makes it even slower unless you memorize it. All you really do during a level is watch. You make your gems, then you watch. You make your gems, then you watch. Make your gems, then you watch. You get the idea. I personally like the race mode, where whoever completes level 50 first is the winner. It gives the map a more competitive feel, but everything I've said before still applies. My patience has a limit, and it's hard for me to enjoy this map because of it. But the map does have fresh and original ideas, so try it out and see if you like it. Element TD. This map kicks ass. Instead of distinguishing between ground and air units, all towers hit any unit. The main focus of this map involves 6 elements: light, earth, nature, fire, water, and darkness, with each element dealing double damage to one element and half damage to another element. You can combine certain elements together to create towers with special abilities. For example, you can combine light and fire to create electricity towers, which have the ability to cast chain lightning. Towers can have up to 3 elements. Adding water to the electricity tower will create the windstorm tower, which generates tornadoes that slow enemies down and deals damage every second. To gain an element, it's not as simple as researching or buying it. Every 5 levels, you get to choose an element, then you have to fight the guardian of that element and kill it. It's very easy to get into this game, especially for those who are new to tower defense maps. You can only build 2 towers at the start of the game, an arrow tower and a cannon tower. One of the unique aspects of the map is the ability to gain interest from your current gold. Every 15 seconds, your gold will increase based on how much you have and your current interest rate. Instead of spending all your money to create the best defense possible, there is now a reason to spend as little money as possible and risk leaking, so managing a good economy becomes a vital part of the gameplay. The random mode in the map gives you the ability to sell your towers for 100% of the gold spent on it, so I usually end up selling towers in between rounds and rebuilding them to gain that extra gold from interest. And with the other game modes in the map, such as Chaos and Extreme mode, this map is highly polished, has a high amount of replayability, and has a lot of action. I definitely recommend playing this map. Finally, we have Tower Wars. It's a 9-player map divided into 3 teams. The gameplay not only involves building towers to protect yourself, but includes summoning monsters to run through your enemy's defenses. The map uses an income system that gives you gold every few seconds. You can choose between being a summoner, which gives you 100% of the income increase from each monster that you spawn, or a defender that only gives you 50% from each monster spawned, but you also receive 40% for a monster that you kill with your towers. The pace of the gameplay stays constant throughout the entire game, since you're always doing something, whether it be building towers, summoning monsters, or analyzing your opponent's defenses to see what they're vulnerable to. You can also summon monsters that can attack enemy defenses, either as a distraction when summoning other monsters, or to take down their defenses completely. This gives the map a sense of strategy, especially when teamwork is involved. Towers need to be spread out enough so that you're not completely overwhelmed by a large number of units, while still being grouped together enough to effectively defend against attacking units. One thing a very coordinated team might do is have 2 defenders and 1 summoner, with the defending players sharing control of their units with the summoner, so that the summoning player can have access to the summoning shrines at the bottom of the map. This effectively allows the summoning player to have 3 times the normal income increase, and 3 times the amount of monsters able to be sent to the enemy by a single player. Personally, I think this is a bad idea, since teams who are unprepared could lose very quickly, and the only way for the other teams to counter this is to do the exact same thing. Aside from that, it's a well-made map. While there are many other maps with this type of gameplay concept, I find this to be the best one of them all. It's easy to learn, it's challenging, and a lot of fun.